viral hit of the week. And as Kip's talking us through it, we can show you what happened. Our friends at Baseball are obviously posting this right after it happens. And we're going to give you multiple angles. First off, this is kind of the field view of one fan coming at Ronald. And after there's 2 or 3 security guards just kind of hugging the one fan, another one comes and essentially semi-decks him, Kip. And then there was still action with another fan who kind of jumped back into the seats. So to me, it seemed pre-coordinated too to have multiple people here involved. So
Did they come in from different sides, or did they enter the field from the same spot?
I think different spots. Do we know if they came from? I think it was different spots. I think they came from different angles, and we'll show you different angles too. But this is the perfect show for like what you would do, how MLB security works, how the fuck this happens.
The second guy comes in hot, where I think Acuña puts out a little stiff arm once you see him coming from the bottom of the screen here. Normally, you only see this like in soccer games. Yeah, right there. With like Messi or Ronaldo, the guys that come onto the field to take pictures with them. I think Acuña said, or the teammate said, like, the first guy didn't really impose a threat, so that's why it took longer. It's kind of irrelevant to me at that point. Get off the field. You're not supposed to be there. I don't like it. It's look at him. It doesn't look like a sane person. It's just for a picture. If you're doing that much energy and that much attached to a guy just to get a picture with someone, there's something a little wrong with you in my mind.
That dude looks like a rabid dog. The one that's being picked up and flailing. I mean, to me, that adds crazy.
It's not okay.
No, it's not okay. That's like, to me, that's got to add to the criminal charges. That dude was not compliant by any means. He was not a peaceful protester.
I don't know what the criminal charges are going to be, but it is going to be fine, jail time. They're never going to go to another big league game. That's an easy one, but now the memes are going to come out. That dude in the white shirt that came out second, it's going to be like Mookie Betts' face on it as he's running down, and then you see Acuña who got deked by the whole security guard was on the ground, and he was just crawling behind him. The middle school, like crawl behind somebody, and then someone pushes him over. That's what happened to Acuña there.
Tabletop.
There's a name for it? Yeah.
The tabletop. Yeah. It's a smaller guy's moves when we can't get you down to the ground on our own. We need teamwork.
It's bad news. It's bad news. Because
AJ's got something.
Why? First of all, the security guards took forever to get there. I give Acuña a ton of credit because if some dude comes up to me and I'm on the field and they start hugging me, I'm like, bro, get the fuck off me.
Aren't you like?
I'm like not letting the first guy get to me.
What do you do?
What are you doing?
But he's coming in hot.
I don't care. I'm like, stop. Like I'm pushing
are you
him.
Stop like with a shove forward?
I'm getting the fuck. I'm not letting him dude take a picture of me on the field with me. Like Acuña's way too nice. And then second of all, where were his teammates? Like Juan Yepes, who was the bullpen catcher, was the first guy out there.
Jose Yepes. Geez,
sorry. Excuse me. I know Yeppy too. He was the first one that was out there. And Pilar, I guess, was and then Albies, I think, came out.
But why aren't they sprinting out there and decking him? That's your
and then the second guy
possession.
Comes, and they tackle Acuña. If I'm the Braves, I am not okay with this. I mean, these people need to go to jail for a long. You can't run on the field. I've never in my life have I ever gone to a sporting event and said, actually, I can't say that because I did it once, but I got away with it.
What?
But
come on.
But I was probably not sober. I was at Scott's rave party.
I didn't see you.
But we need to hear about this.
I just don't understand why people jump on the field, especially fans.
Attention usually, but this smelled different, Kip, because of the aggressive approach. Like you'll see someone run with their shirt off, laughing, whatever. Sometimes even like kind of collapse or try to run away. Like these guys were flailing and not cooperative once the security guards got a hold of them.
You could be drunk. You could scream whatever you want at us. Once you come onto the field, you're blurring the lines. You're crossing the proverbial line where it's just not all right. And I think Acuña was calm, so I think that's why teammates weren't over there right away because they're like, oh, he's not in jeopardy. But it also doesn't happen much, so they're probably like, what the hell's going on themselves and kind of just monitoring and watching the situation. But Acuña is in every right of his own to literally throw a haymaker to any one of those guys if he wanted to.
No, there's two things that I have to say about the whole situation. In spring training, they tell us, do not engage these people.
Yeah,
Do not
do
try to
not.
run over there. Do not try to save your teammates. That I don't know if I agree with or not, because they're like, they might be holding a knife, whatever it is. But if you sit there and you think somebody's coming at you, you have every right to just
Yeah, defend
annihilate
yourself.
them. And the boys down in Atlanta, the guys that are the security guards, those
Linebackers.
dudes, yes, they're all ex-football players. They wear their cleats. Colorado dudes were just rolling out there. Hey, we'll get out there whenever we get out there. Atlanta, this ain't happening, especially to an Atlanta player, but it's definitely not happening to anybody because those dudes talk about it. They live for it. There's guys sitting in the bullpen like, please. There was one guy that was always down the left field line in the old stadium. He would be like, please, let somebody come out. Let somebody come out. He'd pull his cleats up and show his cleats. He's like, I'm going to get them. They lived to hit somebody.
You got to have one athlete on each side of the field for security.
Right. Security, I mean, they totally missed the boat here.
Yeah, it was just
they were
too
slow.
long.
They were kind of standing, stalling. Also, I'm like, where are the cuffs? I mean, remember Max Muncy was on with us earlier this year. Innocent dude who was stupid because he went on the field, but proposing down on one knee, gets destroyed, and I think cuffed right away. There's no cuffs here. It was very strange. And to me, this is one of those moments where I think the league needs to say, we need to redo this for a second. We need to reset and look at our protocols. Everyone should have the same protocol at every ballpark. It should not be different. It's players. It's the field. Yes, every ballpark's made uniquely and states are different, but it should be the same concept. There should be plenty of people that are ready to go and deck people and floor them and cuff them.
My two favorite ones I've seen three good ones of this other than just idiots running on the field. My three favorite ones that I've ever seen were one we were in Tampa and a dude ran out top of our dugout and ripped his pants off and was his tighty whities and ran around the field. Front flipped over Ron Washington and I, and then they got him at second base and they drug him through. They took care of him pretty good.
Yeah.
He got what he deserved. There was a guy in New York one time we were playing the Yankees, and the dude jumped off the top and landed on the net behind home plate. We had to stop the game because he was on the net.
He was caught in the net?
He was on the net because they used to have a net over the fans behind home plate for balls. Yeah. So he jumped. He bet his friends, and he jumped onto the net. And we had to stop the game, and he didn't know where to go. He knew he couldn't come to the field because he couldn't get down. So he went up the press box, and it was like 4 NYPD dudes like grabbing him. They beat the crap out of him as they're dragging him up. There's video of it if you Google it. And then the third one was in Kansas City. And in Kansas City, they have that hard-ass rubber around for the warning track. They used to. I think it's dirt now. But they used to have this hard-ass like rubber. Dude jumped down, landed, broke his leg. Couldn't run. He's laying on the ground, screaming. Stop the game, bring an ambulance out, put his ass on the stretcher, drive him off. Like, those dudes, they got what they deserve.
Yeah, I guess go ahead, Kip.
I said I got only one favorite one, and it was in the 2016 playoffs in Toronto. Just like you're a hockey city, 9th inning. We're about to eliminate them, I think, to go to the World Series, and this guy comes out, jeans around his knees, and you couldn't hear anybody. It's like he absolutely did what he accomplished. He wanted to like rev up the crowd, and they were going insane for him. Like everything was out, everything was showing, and this guy was just having a blast. And it was the loudest I think I've ever heard a stadium. And you're literally like on defense, you're like, oh shit, did he just do this? Like, did he actually just rally the Blue Jays right now? And got tackled, and it was just hilarious because you're watching the guards try to contain this guy with his pants down and trying to pull him up while he's kicking and screaming. And it was just kind of fun to watch. That's my favorite.
That's good. I mean, I'm wondering, Kratz, what the security protocol is with the players. So you said they tell you, don't get involved. Although I would counter, like you said, with, okay, well, what if the security setup sucks? I'm going to go get my teammate, my star, right? I mean, he's one of the best players in the sport, and there's multiple people attacking him. I mean, somebody should be the enforcer. Kevin Pillar's pretty fast. He could probably deck some dudes. He played football.
Yep, he's like just staring.
It's a bad situation. Also, just the fact that they were hugging him and they didn't immediately give him like elbow to the face, put him on the ground. Why are they hugging him? Well, why are you protecting him? You worry that he's going to like sue you afterwards? It's on the field.
Is that a third guy that was on the field too?
Yeah, I love
jumped
that.
in there?
I love that he jumped back in the stands.
Yeah.
It was like, no, I'm out.
But Kratz, like and for all you guys to kick around, what do they say to you? So what do you know about, MLB security and how it's set up?
It's different every stadium. Like I said, like the guys, I don't remember the people in Colorado, so I don't know if that's good or bad, but I remember specifically the people in Atlanta. And there was one time somebody jumped on the field when they used to do the like hammer and bucket and paintbrush race before they did the freeze. And a dude jumped on the field, and the guy down the left field line was so pissed he didn't get over there in time. He's like, that's terrible. He's like, the rest of the game, he was just sitting on the bench. He was stewing. He was just like, man. He's like, that was my chance. I would totally got that guy. But I don't know. They don't tell us. The biggest thing is they say, let the security take care of it. But if you watch it, next time you go to a game, just take a look at the people at security. It's usually right at the gate that you can get out onto the field, down the left field line, down the right field line, maybe one by the dugout on each side. But it's not the most, it's not people that are given a good hit. Like the big fella who came out there, I'm glad he didn't hit the guy right away because he was clinched on to Acuña, and he would have had to take Acuña and the other guy out. So, I think it was the guy was kind of using Acuña as like a body shield. But I don't know. I don't know as players, we should know what the regulations are, except they just tell us to stay away.
Yeah, listen, there's someone that's done this before.
Got
away with it.
So tell us about it.
Yeah, what do you got?
What is this?
All right, so
yeah,
you're so fast.
Florida, Georgia is a time, okay, football game. 2000, I believe it was 2010, 9 or 10.
You had a visor on.
Probably. The only time my wife ever went to a game. She ain't been back since.
Save some girls for the rest of us.
We probably were drinking, and he started at like 7 in the morning, and the game's at 3:30. And I was with Toby Hall and my wife and his wife, and the game goes to overtime. And I think it was 2010. And I go, and I know all the Gator people, and we're in the first row behind the Gator bench. And I looked at Toby and I go, if Florida wins, I'm rushing the field. And he's like, you won't. I'm like, yeah, well. He's like, you'll get in trouble. I'm like, dude, I know all the Florida people. They'll let me go. Interception. Georgia gets the ball in overtime first. Florida intercepts it, and they run it all the way back, right? And everyone thinks the game's over. So I'm like, here I go. Jump over the wall. Boom, and I run. And then tackled at the 1 yard line. So I'm now like between the bench and the field. And I'm like, shit, what do I do? And I turn around, and I'm like, I'm just going to jump back in the fence. I turn around, dude, the fence is like 10 or 12 foot high. And I'm like, oh, hell. Luckily, there was a table there. So I jumped on the table, and Toby grabbed me and pulled me back into my seat.
Oh, shit. And nobody saw you?
Nobody said a word.
Wow.